Pastor Roy Gerhardt from Galloway United Methodist Church in Franklin, Pennsylvania, sharing a few words of encouragement to help us follow after Jesus. Well, are there any other workaholics out there? Anybody else like me that when you get into a project, you have a hard time stopping without finishing? Sometimes it's really hard to take a break. To take a break in the midst of your day, or to take a day off or a little bit of time away. Some people really struggle with that. But you know, it's important for all of us. So important, in fact, that God modeled this for our lives and put it in play in a way that we were called on to keep up a pattern in which we would rest. We're told in the creation story that God worked for 6 days creating everything that exists. And then at the end of those 6 days, it says that God looked it all over and said, "This is good. It's very good." And then he rested. It tells us in Genesis 2 that God took the 7th day off, quit his work, and just looked over his creation with a satisfaction, a joy, a celebration of all the work that had been done. In fact, it says that God blessed that day and made it holy. So he put it into play in our lives in a way that we're meant to continue to repeat it, to hold on to this as a pattern for our own lives, to realize that we have to have a moment where we take a break, stop and look back over the things that have been accomplished in our week. What we're doing then is we are appreciating the work of God in our lives over the last 6 days, not just over the days of creation, but over the last 6 days of our lives, we are appreciating the work of God. We get to actually reflect on that with some thanksgiving and appreciation that God is actually working with us. That way we don't lose touch with the presence of God in our life. We don't just go through life just hammering it out and end up losing track of what's important and losing our way in life. We keep that focus that allows us to know God is with us and keep God at the lead in our lives so that he can guide us, direct us, keep us on course every step along the way. There are a lot of people that decide that they don't need to be a part of church, that they don't need to be in fellowship with other Christians, to share in worship, to get into the Word of God together, that they could do that just as well on their own. Or maybe they begin to believe that it's more important for them to have a day to go and play than it is to have a day where they take some time with God in their lives. But I got to tell you that, like David, I have come to appreciate that kind of a stop point, a break in my life where I gather together with other Christians and I'm able to celebrate the good things of God in my life. And I'm able to join with them in sharing the Word of God. David said in the Psalms, I was glad when they said to me, "Let's go up to the house of the Lord." And I have to say that I have found that rhythm in my life of having that day of the week whenever I gather together with other Christians and worship the Lord so essential that if I miss it, well, it feels like I have missed something that is irreplaceable. I can't fix it, in fact, until I find that rhythm again of gathering together that day out of the week that is set apart unto God. It's not just some holy day of obligation. This is a day of release, a day of refueling, something that truly blesses me in my life. Another thing that has become equally important to gathering in a worship service on Sunday is gathering with a small group of guys each week. I have found that indispensable. And you know what? There have been so many times that this group of guys and myself have been able to say to each other, "Man, I got here this evening and I was questioning whether or not I wanted to come. I was tired. I was feeling disgusted with life. And I just thought, man, I'm too tired and too bothered to go. This isn't going to be worth it." And then we've been able to say to each other at the end of our time that this has left me so excited, so blessed. We've come away truly excited and rejoicing over what God has done in our life, inspired by each other's lives, and filled with a delight, an overwhelming joy in what the Word of God has shown us and spoken into our lives that evening as we shared in it together. I'm not exaggerating. This has become one of the richest and most important parts of my life that I really don't know how to live without. This is the blessing of God for us, you see. God said, don't skip on this. You need this. Keep this moment holy in your life. Time to celebrate what God has done and to keep on course in where God is leading you. So may God bless you today. And as you share this good news, may God make you a blessing wherever He takes you.